What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geekery, the place where we feed your inner geek. My name is Dre.
My name is Patrick.
And last week was the Super Bowl of video games. The biggest week in video games, E3 2016. So Patrick and I are doing two discussion videos to talk about the two, in our opinion, biggest press conferences, Microsoft and Sony.
Right.
Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft. And so Patrick, Phil Spencer got out there. What did you think overall of the Microsoft conference?
Overall, I'm going to kind of give my thoughts on both because this was E3 this year. If you've been following it leading up to this, a lot of people have been pulling out of E3.
Yeah. I think Activision is out, being on the show floor.
Yeah, but they're doing their own thing.
Yeah,
Bethesda's doing a thing, E3's doing a thing, all that stuff.
Oddly enough, a Nintendo model. Because Nintendo does the directs, even though they didn't do it. Way to not show up, Nintendo.
Treehouse or something this year?
Well, they usually have done the Nintendo directs.
I don't know.
The Nintendo, we have a scribbled napkin with ideas.
Exactly. That was a funny tweet, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Just going to throw that out there.
Thank you.
That was good. But here's the deal: so there's the question of like, is E3 even going to be a thing anymore? Like, are
relevant? Are you saying relevant? Okay.
Yeah. And whether it's Microsoft or Sony, it just reminded me of why I love watching this stuff, especially in light of some of these smaller little conferences.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was excited. Dre and I are both big Microsoft guys, not for computers, but for video game consoles.
Hi, Phil Spencer.
Hi. So yeah, overall, I thought it was great. It was exciting. I had a great time watching it.
Did it excite you for what you're going to get to play on your Xbox?
Yes and no.
Okay, talk about that.
Another little known fact about the two of us, as I just continue to speak for both of us. Huge Gears of War fans.
Yes.
Huge. Played all of them.
We played them together.
Yes.
We went through all of them.
Like multiple times.
Yes.
So love it. So of course looking forward to Gears of War 4.
Yes.
That's probably got the most of my attention because for me, I got bit by the VR bug. And honestly, I was much more drawn to what Sony was putting out as far as their VR experiences and licenses.
That's true. We talked about that in the Sony video.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Basically, Jeff Kanata got to you.
Exactly. Yes. No. Have you played? We can talk about this later. Once you have the experience.
So you I have not had a VR experience. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Ooh. That's right. You've tried the Vive. Okay.
And,
that's awesome. Okay, we'll get to it.
Yes, we'll get to it.
So overall, for me, I thought Microsoft did a fantastic conference.
Yeah.
But here's kind of the way I feel like the last E3s have gone from Microsoft. I feel like Microsoft, everybody comes out of their conference going, that was really good. That was awesome. And it was almost a 2-hour show, and it didn't feel long. The Ubisoft conference felt long.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Microsoft felt tight, and it's like, here's stuff you're going to play in the next year, and we're excited. And we talk about this in the other video. It's just then Sony did such a good job that it almost makes you feel like Microsoft failed, which they didn't. But that's kind of been this console generation. So I don't want to... Again, we talk about Sony, and we talk very, very good things about Sony, but I want it to be said, I thought Microsoft did a great job. As an Xbox gamer, I'm excited about the next year of that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about this. The console piece of this is the weirdest thing for me in the hardest to swallow.
Well, let's talk about that because we're not going to hit everything that was in the conference, but just a couple things that were relevant to us.
Yeah, sure.
But let's begin with that. So they began and ended with console hardware announcements. We began with what I've heard the Apple-fication.
Yes.
Of Xbox, where it's the Xbox One S.
Right. Which every 2 years you can get a new...
And it's so, it's slimmer, it's a little more powerful, HDR gaming, and then they ended with the Xbox Scorpio, which forced me to have to look up what a teraflop is.
Yeah, I'd been hearing this on podcasts and Twitch and stuff, and I thought that was the term people were making fun of. They're like, oh, it's got 40 teraflops in it. But it's not, apparently.
So you're saying this is weird to you. Talk to me about that. How did you feel about the console announcement?
I think when you introduce two consoles, it's confusing. Is it Scorpio? Is what they're calling
it? Is the Project Scorpio for the power, the floppy one?
The floppies. All of the flops. It's hard to say, look at this cool new thing.
Yeah.
Please buy it whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they said release date or if they said holiday.
Scorpio, I think they said holiday 2017, and the S comes out in August.
It's just hard when they're like, this is going to be amazing, it's bigger, it's better, it's all these things, it's going to make everything obsolete, but we also have this other thing we want you to buy that isn't as good. So I think that's weird. I think it's not abnormal for them to shrink down their stuff inside. With the 360. We saw PlayStation do it with the PlayStation 3.
Yes.
Make it smaller, and this is significantly smaller. If you
Yeah.
don't have an Xbox One, it's a brick house.
Look at the pictures of the comparison. This is a lot, and the power brick is gone.
Yeah, which is crazy because I don't know that I've had a system for a long time without a power
I think because we've had Xbox systems.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sony got rid of the power brick. I'm with you with that, and I think that seems to be the general consensus. It's kind of weird, but I think I'm more positive on it. You know, like, I like the look of the S a lot.
Sure.
And I think...
knowing you'll probably buy 3 or 4 of them.
Probably.
Yes.
Just because...
How many 360s did you have?
2.
Stop.
No, because they broke. Some of the... I got the red rings of death.
Yeah,
so
I had that too.
I had the original model, and then I got buy a Slim without the other one breaking. I bought a Slim. Okay. So with this, my Xbox takes up so much space where I have it set up that alone makes the Slim enticing to me. But I'm not going to rush out on day one. The Scorpio to me, I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in me just thinks this is a new console. Yeah. Because they mentioned nobody's getting left behind, backwards compatible.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
But I feel like, great. But I feel as if this is a new console. Yeah. I don't feel as if this is going to be Xbox One Plus or something. I think this is going to be the next Xbox, and it's backwards compatible with the One to not make things obsolete.
To not piss people off, but I just spent because me and you, we bought like day one.
Yeah, we did.
We did, yeah, so that's hard to be like, well, that's whatever. So I know they don't want to do that. I think they should just bite the bullet and say, yeah, we're going to next gen a little bit sooner.
I feel as if they're going to. Because with you, if they're not, I don't understand why they announced
it. You don't think it's because they're trying to keep their foot in the VR game of like, here's Scorpio, it's going to be powerful, it's going to be all these things. PlayStation already has their VR, Sony has their VR.
I can see that, but I think then what was missing from the announcement is, are you working with Oculus or not?
And that was the thing that was, I think a lot of people were waiting for.
Yeah.
Because Oculus, I believe, already ships with an Xbox controller.
It does, yes.
And so that it feels like it's...
Or at least you can get it as an option.
Something like that, yeah. So it feels obvious and seemed like the thing that was missing. But that feels like what Scorpio has to be.
Because you are right. Phil Spencer did say VR.
Yes, right.
And they're also coming into this a year after Sony's doing it, so they have some chance. And, you know, the rumors... And it's just rumors, is that the Scorpio is why Sony didn't talk about the Neo, their next PlayStation, because this thing is supposed to be powerful, which again, I'm like, why are you putting so much power into an Xbox One? Right. Have it just be the next Xbox. So.
And here's what my issue with the consoles was too. I love the idea of like no gamer left behind.
Yes,
that's
yes,
cool.
Yes.
If I was doing it, if I was in charge, if you'd like me to be in charge, I'd say... introduce the Scorpio at the end and say, it's this thing, it's coming out at this point, there's no gamer left behind, it is backwards compatible, but in the spirit of leaving no gamer behind, if you haven't been a part of our this generation of console, we're also releasing this better price point Xbox.
That's cool.
Xbox Slim or
the Xbox One S. So again, very Apple. It's iPhone 6S type.
Well, to me, it's like the iPhone 5C, where they're like, it's plastic, it's colored. But it's going to do what you want. Yeah. It's cheaper. And I got an email the other day. It was like, get your Xbox One. So this isn't even the S. So like, get your original Xbox One, $299, 3 games, controller, all this stuff. Yeah. So they're already like...
They are. I think they're almost... The hardware announcers almost make it seem as if they're conceding that they're not going to catch up to Sony. Yeah. So now they're just trying to go. So
it almost made me buy that Xbox, though. I was like, I have a TV in my bedroom.
I dig that.
I want those games.
So let's talk about some of the games. We're not going to hit everything. We're not going to hit some of the announcements they made about Xbox Live and everything, but just some games that were relevant to us. Gears of War 4. Huge. So you talked about so how did you feel about what they showed?
Excited.
Yeah.
Spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
The end of the was it the trailer?
Yeah, or the sizzle that they were, the gameplay, I guess.
But I'm talking about the Marcus Phoenix.
Yes, so we saw old man Marcus Phoenix.
Right, which I think, I don't know, I couldn't tell if I was waiting for that or if I was like, meh.
See, I was waiting during the gameplay because the main character is J.D. Phoenix's son. Right. So I'm sitting there.
Did we know that going in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sitting there going, when are we going to get to see Marcus? Yeah. And I did, the gameplay looks great. It looks like Gears, which...
It was great, beautiful.
I want more Gears. I love Gears after seeing the Ultimate Edition of the remaster of the first one.
You played that, right?
Yes. Yeah. It looked amazing. And playing that, I'm like, I want a game built for the Xbox One.
Yes.
So the gameplay looked great. I'm in, but I was excited when it went to black. It came back in. You go to this house and you see that shadowed figure. I'm like, it's Marcus, and then you heard John DiMaggio's voice.
Yeah, I love him.
So I'm excited. I don't know if that means we get to play Marcus. I'm assuming at least he's going to be a skin in the multiplayer.
I was going to say it'll probably be some DLC, something.
He might be a pre-order bonus.
Campaign.
I'm pretty sure my multiplayer character Hoffman's probably got to be dead, right?
But he survived the 3, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he could theoretically.
But I'm thinking of old age.
Maybe he's the bad.
Because JD's an adult.
Right. Yeah.
At this point. So Gears of War. We're in.
Huge into Gears of War.
So they showed ReCore.
Yeah, so they showed ReCore a year ago as well.
Yeah, they announced it as the Inafune game, you know, the famous developer. They didn't so much show gameplay last year.
So that was fun. Oh, yeah, there was a long kind of cutscene. It was cool in the desert. They had kind of that orb that reminded me of the eye from Portal 2.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool, yeah.
But, so now, I believe no release date on that still?
No, it's coming out this fall.
Is it? Okay.
I forget when. Somebody in the comments can let us know.
So we saw it at E3 2015. Here it is back again in 2016.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I think I was a little surprised. I'm not down on ReCore, but when they announced it last year, my assumption was this is going to be a huge, huge IP.
Yeah.
And when they showed it, it looks more akin to Ori and the Blind Forest, as if it's one of the. It's not a AAA title,
right?
So that confused me a little bit because it has such a big name behind it. I would like to see more because they showed you quick gameplay, but I think I want to see more of what it does. I conceptually, I like the idea.
Yeah.
It seems cool where you can have these different types of robots and you have different relationships. What did you think? Man. Yeah. No, I'm a there's a general feeling of that as well.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm a very specific type of gamer.
Yeah,
you know me, I really do like those. I like the Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes.
I like the puzzler games.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. I don't know that this just, it doesn't feel like the game for me.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you I will not go out and buy this game. If it comes on deals for gold,
you'll try it.
I'll play it. But yeah, it just wasn't for me.
It makes sense. I'm curious to see how it's received when it comes out.
Yeah.
Let me jump around a little bit. This is probably more relevant to me, but Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
They showed that demo.
I heard a lot of flack about that.
It didn't seem to be the best way to show this game.
Yeah.
The demo, I don't know if it just wasn't working right, but it didn't seem to me as if the gentleman demoing it was doing what he wanted to do.
Right, yeah.
I love the Final Fantasy series, but I'm also one that got soured by the trilogy of 13.
Yeah.
So I want this to be good, but I can't say I care as much as I used to, and this demo didn't help.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I have actually never played a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's just never been my.
Yeah, it's not. You're not an RPG type.
Yeah, but knowing that and then hearing people like you say that, or I've just heard a general. I wouldn't say distaste as much as I'd say confusion for the game.
Yeah,
which kind of sets it off on a bad foot moving forward.
I think it's going to be good, but just because my expectations are pretty low.
Yeah. Well, let me clarify too. There was a Final Fantasy piece that I saw that was in VR.
That was Sony.
Right. So this is a different game than.
No. This is the same game, but Sony's going to have a VR. Yeah, Sony's going to have a VR.
Now that's odd too.
It's also weird that Final Fantasy, which often has been a Sony showcase, was on the Microsoft stage. I just thought that was interesting. Dead Rising 4.
Okay, so good news is zombies are still a thing.
They really are.
They're not going anywhere still. Now, we played all of the Dead Rising?
Yes.
I think. The first one,
I even played the redo of Dead Rising 2 when they put Frank West back into it.
Yeah. If I recall, Dead Rising 1 was like, you were just on the timer all the time.
Yeah, you're in the mall. The second one was kind of similar to that as well. You're in a Las Vegas, you're the biker guy.
And then Dead Rising 3 was one of the first games I played through on the 1.
Yeah, it was a launch time.
That was actually, that's how I want to play Dead Rising, was Dead Rising 3, not Dead Rising 1.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked. Maybe it's just because I'm with people and I've had zombie fever since before. But I'm in.
Dead Rising 3 was so much dumb fun to me.
It was.
The game
I wish there was a fast travel system.
Yeah,
there was
the game had, the map was infuriating, there are massive issues, but I understand what Dead Rising is, and especially with the stage of life I'm in, I like these dumb games. I can just hop in, hop out, I played through that game, I think 3 times.
Yeah, I did something, maybe 2 for me, but yeah.
So, Frank West, original protagonist, it just, they showed a clip of him wearing a Triceratops mask shooting fire.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. So, one of the big talks from the Microsoft show wasn't a Microsoft exclusive, but they showed off We Happy Few.
Yeah, no, that was the one so the way I saw this first was between conferences and interviews, I saw a trailer for it. So I had to go back and watch the Microsoft show. But I thought, when I was watching it, I thought it was BioShock. I was like, they're re-releasing Infinite.
Yeah, and it has that vibe, and I mean that in a great way.
Oh, and we are huge fans of the BioShock.
Yeah, huge fan. BioShock's probably my favorite game. Out of all the years I've been playing video games from the original Nintendo, I just have never experienced anything like as akin to the original BioShock.
Now imagine that, but in VR. I know you haven't been bit, but oh my god.
No, but you know what? If I could go to Rapture in VR...
Or what was the other place?
Columbia. But I would want to go to Rapture.
I don't know, man. Swing around in Columbia.
I don't understand the early access...
Yeah.
We Happy Few, and it's not something I want to get into DJ. I just don't understand it, but the game looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's this creepy world, and they mentioned that your drug is called Joy, and they called the character in the demo a downer, and he has to escape. And I think I heard that you play different characters as you go through. I'm really in.
Yeah.
We Happy Few. I can't wait to play this game.
Yeah, a lot of excitement around it. I'm stoked about it. It is a full title, though, right? Full $60 game?
I don't know that.
I think it will be.
My guess is that it will, but I know it's not being made by a giant studio.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
So, and just because this was a unique demo.
Yeah.
And so I want to get your impressions. Here's what I've heard from many other games personalities. It seemed that the consensus was that the demo didn't do much for them, but when they actually got to play Sea of Thieves, it was surprisingly fun. So what are your thoughts on Sea of Thieves?
Imagine Sea of Thieves, but in VR. I don't know. It's weird. For me, it kind of feels like, they've got like Euro Truck Simulator or Farm Simulator. It's like, you can be a thing. It kind of felt like you could be a pirate, like, go get the sails. And I think that is appealing for some people and oddly appealing to me. I just don't. It seems odd. I don't know that there's a reason for it. When I first heard about it, I was like, didn't we just do this with Assassin's Creed Black Flag? And I understand that this is different.
Yeah.
But I already, in my mind, that was the first thing that happened. I was like, been there, done that.
Yeah.
I don't understand who's demanding this. What is the appeal?
I like it conceptually. It's not a game for me.
Sure.
If I can put it, I think it's a game for someone. And
let's hope so.
No, but what I mean is, over at kindafunny.com, Greg Miller equated it to Evolve.
Okay.
And I thought that was a good comparison.
Did you play a lot of Evolve?
I didn't, but that's my point. That Evolve and Sea of Thieves, Destiny, The Division, these are very much these games where you have a group of friends and you play together. But without that group of, and that's the thing, like when you and I were younger, before kids, before being married,
30 years ago,
we played Gears of War 2 with the same group of people every night.
Yeah.
And so I think Sea of Thieves is for those people. Just as Evolve was for those people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because my game time is sporadic, I can't round up 5 friends.
Totally.
And I'm in a stage of life that when I play, I like playing by myself.
I know.
I know. I love you though. But I want to play I don't play a lot of multiplayer games. So it's awesome that people seem to have had fun with it. Yeah. But that's why it's not for me.
Yeah.
I wish it demoed better because for me, I really enjoy that out of all the things we've seen at E3, Sea of Thieves seemed as if it was a lighthearted, just fun adventure.
Yeah, for sure.
Not dark, the world isn't ending. It's just joyful.
Yeah.
Let's be these goofy pirates.
Yeah. And that I like, because I don't know about you, but I'm kind of over the Call of Duty model of this is war and it's intense and everything's terrible.
Everything's dark and even though I enjoy
Garden in
games
VR,
such as that, it's also why we enjoyed the original Plants vs. Zombies. It was just fun.
Oh, it was so fun, and I haven't dug into Plants vs. Zombies 2 more than one time.
And And this is a tangent,
so fun.
but I'm playing Overwatch right now, and it's a game that shouldn't be for me because all it is a multiplayer shooter. But the only reason to play it is because it's fun. It's just fun.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's good. It looks as if it's a Pixar movie that you're shooting. So last game I want to hit, again, we're not hitting everything, is they showed off Scalebound. Their dragon fighter. They were fighting the giant crab thing. You have the protagonist with headphones.
Yeah.
This didn't seem to really set people ablaze.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see this one.
They were fighting this giant crab, and the kid and the dragon were using their powers. It seemed very similar to the Final Fantasy 15 demo. I don't know a whole lot about Scalebound going in. All I know is the demo didn't make me go, oh, wow, that looks exciting. Yeah. I didn't think it was horrible, but kind of as you said with the previous game, if it's a game for gold one day, great, but I didn't want to go in. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, we're interested to see what you guys like, what games you're looking forward to. You can put them in the comments. Let us know. Obviously, we didn't get through all of them.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Battlefield. We didn't talk about The Division, Minecraft, Inside, the follow-up to Limbo.
Which Limbo game I liked a lot.
Yeah, Limbo was great. State of Decay 2, Halo Wars 2. There's a lot we didn't get to.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm interested to hear if anyone is actually excited about Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like Halo Wars, but it seems like there's excitement for Halo Wars 2, which I was surprised about.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, so let us know.
Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and social media @officialgeekery. Subscribe to this video, and we'll see you next time.